Now, I'm going to play the audio of a new ISIS video that is absolutely stunning. I posted it up on Facebook over the weekend, and every American should see this with the understanding that I'm going to give you. Most Americans are going to watch this or listen to it, and they're not going to know what it means. But because you have listened to me and watched me over the years, you'll know every single reference. I'm going to give you the reference. I'm going to play it through once, and then I'm going to go back to the beginning and explain what everything means. But this is critical for anybody who wants to know, what time is it? What are we really facing in the Middle East? You're facing an enemy that believes they are the army of Armageddon. Listen.
This is our Khilafah in all its glory, remaining and expanding. It was established in the year 1435 Hijri. Its leader from the tribe of Quraysh is Sheikh Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, and its territory is already greater than Britain, 8 times the size of Belgium and 30 times the size of Qatar. It's a state built on the prophetic methodology, striving to follow the Quran and Sunnah, not a secular state built on man-made laws whose soldiers fight for the interests of Taghut legislators, liars, fornicators, corporations, and for the freedoms of sodomites. We are men honored with Islam who climbed its peaks to perform jihad, answering the call to unite under one flag. This is the source of our glory, our obedience to our Lord. We are uncompromising in our call to Tawheed. We only bow to Allah, unlike the countless deviant factions raising their false banners and changing with the winds of Jahili politics. Yes, we are the soldiers who stop the idols of nationalism, demolish the shirky symbols of Palmyra and Nineveh, and destroy the Sykes-Picot borders. For there is no honor to be found in the remnants of shirk and nationalism, and no difference between an Arab and a non-Arab, or a black man and a white man, except through piety. This is the glory of faith that unites us. Justice is served with the establishment of the Islamic courts, and there are thousands of masajid and schools for our cubs and pearls, where they prepare themselves to share in the great rewards of expanding this Khilafah. America, you claim to have the greatest army history has known. You may have the numbers and weapons, but your soldiers lack the will and resolve. Still scarred from their defeats in Afghanistan and Iraq, they return dead or suicidal, with over 6,500 of them killing themselves each year. So while you go around cooking the facts on the results of your military airstrikes, we continue to haunt the minds of your soldiers and sow fear into their hearts, with 18 of your soldiers committing suicide each day before you've even advanced. And in addition to the $6 trillion price tag on your war against the Muslims, you're now too weak to put boots on the ground. You opt instead to attack us from the air with missiles, each worth $250,000, while we send your proxies to hell with 50-cent bullets. Then there's your new coalition of devils, with Iran, Turkey, and Russia joining the fray. That's because the Millah of Kufr will always unite you together to fight the truth. So bring it on, all of you. Your numbers only increase us in faith, and we're counting your banners, which our prophet said would reach 80 in number. And then the flames of war will finally burn you on the hills of death. Bring it on, for you echo the mighty call of our prophets. Gather your allies, plot against us, and show us no respite. Our ally is the greatest. He is Allah, and all glory belongs to Him.
Wow, that's special. Okay, so it's quite impressive when you watch it. The video is quite stunning, but I want to go through some of it so you understand what is being said and why this is so powerful to Muslims and in the Middle East. It starts with him saying, "This is our caliphate. This is our kufur. This is our caliphate." And it shows over a town in Iraq or Syria a giant black flag. Now, we've seen this black flag a million times. Why is the black flag important? The black flag is part of prophecy. Now, you have to understand that they have a piece of prophecy, just like we have John the Revelator. We grew up reading about Armageddon. We grew up, hearing about the mark of the beast and everything else. And they grew up with their prophecy for the end times. It is just as spooky to them as it is for us, except their prophecy says that you can hasten the return of the promised one. You can actually make, if you were us, Christ come faster. All you have to do is just start washing the world in blood. You just start shedding blood like crazy, and the promised one will come. Their promised one, however, if you would read the two books side by side, their promised one is much more like our Antichrist. Their promised one comes and he stops the bloodshed by making everyone bow down to Allah. And if they don't, he beheads them. And he beheads a lot of people over the entire globe. Then after he has reigned for a while, then Jesus comes. But Jesus comes back and he takes the sword and he starts beheading those Christians who won't bow down to Allah. Okay? So their prophecy is just as real as our prophecy. And you can take that any way you want. You don't believe in prophecy, you don't believe in God and all of that stuff, then it's just as real. But you have to accept that there are people on the planet, lots of them, that do believe in the prophecy. So the prophecy starts with there is going to be a mighty army, and it will be started by a guy named Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr is the guy who started the first caliphate. That's why when we talk about al-Baghdadi, his first name, chosen by him, is Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. So that's when they show the black flag and they say, this is our flag, this is our caliphate. And it was started by, and he says quickly, Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, but he's saying it in such a way that you and I don't understand it, but they do. Abu Bakr is the critical piece of the prophecy. So you have the flag. You have the caliphate reestablished. You have the caliphate reestablished by a guy named Abu Bakr. Prophecy. He is speaking prophetically to all Muslims. He then goes on to say, and it is expanding. It is now greater than Great Britain, 8 times the size of Belgium, and 30 times the size of Qatar. That again is prophecy. It will be started. They will carry a black flag. They will start to sweep. It will start to expand. He says it's the prophetic methodology that we follow, the Quran, not the man-made laws of corrupt officials. Remember, any man-made law, according to Sharia law, this is why anybody who says, well, no, they don't want Sharia law. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. According to the Quran, you must have Sharia law. There is no law that is permissible other than Sharia law. You must have God's law. That's the only law that you can really, truly live under and expect to have peace is God's law. So they're saying that this is expanding because we have Sharia law, not the man-made laws through corrupt officials, corporations, and